Hey guys, Architect Michael Huber here. Thought I'd share with you a new project we've got going, a residential cabin on a lake north of here, about 30 minutes or so from beautiful Hudson, Wisconsin. And it was interesting because I had spoken to this client last year. They were having problems with their existing cabin. The foundation was heaving. Well, this year we've had more rain than I think we've ever had, and went out and inspected the cabin, and the foundation was just cracking. There was no footings. There wasn't even a grade beam. It was just a slab on grade. And with all the rain, the water was coming up, I mean, almost right up to the floor line. And so the cabin, in the end, we all agreed that it just needed to be removed, unfortunately. The good news is that as you move back on the property, there is some grade change, and there's a lot of memories here for her and her family. And so they all said, hey, let's rebuild, but let's move it up on a little bit higher grade. And still keep a cabin on this lake. So that's what we're looking at here. I've got the survey, the topo survey. You can see we've got the lake here, the existing cabin, which does fall out of the setback lines. It was, been there for quite a while. We do have a septic field we have to deal with, drain field and tanks, and then of course these setbacks to try to fit this new cabin in, but we want to try to hug it up the hill as close as we can to those setbacks, again, just to get our foundation out of the ground. So as usual, did a number of, figured out what her program was, what room she wants, what relationships, kind of the puzzle pieces, as I always say. And then I went back and I did 3-4 different variations based upon kind of that discussion. And then as usual, I like to do some very quick extruded massings here. Some a little more ambitious than others, so that we can have something to look at, react to. And what was really interesting was when I was talking to her during that initial meeting about an aesthetic, she pulled out a magazine clipping article and said, I want it to look similar to this. And I look at it and I'm like, you mean like that one on my wall? I designed this cabin for author Vince Flynn and his wife Lisa a number of years ago, and a magazine wrote an article about my process and the project. And she just had seen that and cut that out and thought, if I ever build a cabin, I want it to look like that. Had no idea that I had designed that cabin. So it was kind of one of those goosebump moments. It was pretty interesting. So in any event, took a cue from that project, as well as a recent project that had sort of a similar aesthetic, and well, let's jump into the plans first. Okay, so here's the main level plan as it is now. And there are some things that are unique to her and how she wants to live that might be a little bit different from you and I, like enclosing the kitchen more, etc. But we needed an entry more towards the top of the hill to the road. We've got just a bedroom bath. Again, wanted that. She wanted that more to the back side. We do open that up to the south so we get some nice light. You notice she wanted a little kind of sleeping screen porch off the master, off of her bedroom, so she can put a cot out there and sleep out there on nice summer evenings. We've got a laundry mudroom, a stair going up, and then a stair going down. There will be a crawl space with a mechanical under here. Again, we can't go with a full foundation just because of the water problems. An open living room space, this kitchen area, and then she wanted a little sitting space just for her off of the kitchen, salvaging the window above the sink in the original cabin that her and her husband would look out over the lake, have some nice memories. So reincorporate that back into the sink area. Then we've got a covered deck off of her sitting area. This originally was going to be a screen porch, but she really felt strongly about moving the dining space out into this area, which has the best views of the lake. But they sit around the table a lot. The family plays games, and wanted that to be more of the focal point. And then we have a small deck and then steps going down. There'll be another gazebo and other things, other site amenities down closer to the lake. So that's the main level. The upper level, you come up the stairs. She just wanted 2 bedrooms split apart with the stairs in between and a bath. So we have this bunkhouse for the grandkids on one end, a bath, and then an extra bedroom here facing the lake. So if we look at the massing where we are at right now, and here it is. So she wanted that sort of cabiny, modern farmhousey, Scandinavian type aesthetic. So very clean, very simple, which is what I like as well. So you can see the dining area becomes the main glassed in piece with the nice views. We've got the deck area, the covered porch here off the sitting room. If we scroll around to the side here, you can see the screened porch, the sleeping porch off the bedroom area. Now we do have this septic line, as I was saying, with the drain field here. So we're trying to keep foundations away from the piping and the drain field. That's why I'm kind of have these brackets that the screen porch floats out on versus putting any foundation in there. She really wanted a dormer, and so this works perfectly for that hallway upstairs. You can see we've offset the bearing, which gives it a little more character, and the dormer allows us to actually walk up there and not hit her head. As we move around to the front entry, we just have this covered porch with the upper level kind of providing the roof element. There will be some pull-off space, parking spaces up near this entry. She wants to keep the same drive so they can drive down to the lake area, but this will be some upper parking near the entry. And then we've got the sitting area here, and again with the covered porch and the dining area. Depending upon the crawl space, we're going to have some doors under the deck so she can slide in the kayaks, canoe, inner tubes, and just try to utilize that space for some storage. So we'll play with the siding, board and batten, horizontal lap. I just toned this gray and white right now because I didn't want to distract by choosing the wrong color. I actually kind of like the white and gray, so who knows, little accents of stone to help anchor the building to the grade, and then with the fireplace. So I know I talked pretty fast there. The sun's going down, and I think it's time to call it a day. But anyway, I thought you might be interested in seeing another residential project we have going, so we'll keep you posted as things move along, and as usual, thanks for watching.